Hello, entrepreneurs. Glad that you're tuning in, whether you're watching on my Facebook business page, Entrepreneur Terry Levine, whether you're watching on our YouTube channel, or whether you are here where you really want to be in the Facebook group, Entrepreneurs with Terry Levine, because there's about 6,500, almost 6,600 of us now doing business together. We give you a chance to connect, promote yourself, while you get free valuable training and you get to network and meet really cool people. And you're going to meet one today. So I'm really excited to bring a guest with me who's a client family member. Hi, Velma. And someone that I actually consider a friend and someone that is a true entrepreneur, that if you don't know her, you will want to know her. Hi there, Robin. Good to see you. Facebook user, if you give permission to StreamYard, we'll know who you are. Otherwise, we don't know who you are. So it's good to have you. All right. So Regina Andler is my guest here today, and she is a very special guest. Why is she such a special guest? Well, first of all, we share a lot of things in common around personal development, how important it is, what the key lessons are. And she also has a real passion for getting her message out to transform people's lives. That's what a true entrepreneur does. I call Regina a entrepreneur because she is transparent, she is authentic, and she is always in integrity. Thanks, Velma. That's how you get your name on StreamYard. Thanks, Velma. And she is someone who I refer and recommend and endorse. And I don't do that for a lot of people because she truly is the real deal. So I asked her to come here today to be with us, to kind of share her story, and then to help you with something she calls Finding Me. So first of all, welcome, Regina. I'm so glad you're with me.
I am so excited to be here today, Terry.
Well, this is going to be awesome. Before we dig into the content, just tell people a little bit about you and how you and I met, why we're working together, what it was like before Terry and now after Terry, and then let's give them a huge amount of content just so they have perspective.
Sure. So where I started my business in 2020, right when the pandemic was getting really big and everybody said, wow, you crazy, you're going to start a business? And I was working with some people to try to get things started. And when I say try, I mean that word try. Yeah, and it really wasn't working. And my business is all about self-development and helping people live their best lives. I consider myself a life strategist. And I was working on getting my business started up when I happened to stumble upon Terry Levine through a mutual friend who invited me to a seminar that he was having where Terry was one of the speakers. And instantly, when I heard her speak, I resonated with everything she said. I was brought up with the old salesman type, car salesman type of sales. And I always said, I hate sales. I never want to do sales. I hate marketing. I hate trying to talk people into doing business with me. And that's where I was 100% completely wrong. And it was when Terry first started talking about how entrepreneurs do business that it was like a light bulb went off. I said, that's it. That's what I'm missing. This is who I want to be. This is what means something to me. I want to do business from my heart. I don't want to sell people things. I don't want to talk people into doing business with me. I want to help people and add value to them. And the more I learned about Terry, the more I knew that that was exactly what her mission was. And that's what she's been teaching me ever since, is to how to do business from a heart-centered base instead of that, car salesman typey business. And I have never looked back, and I have never been happier with anything as far as my business is concerned.
Well, as you know, I love working with you. And if we can clone more client family members just like you and transform their businesses, so they could help more people, that's what we're about. So you created a program and you're ready to embrace some people in the program. It's called Finding Me. So I'm curious, why did you name it Finding Me, and what exactly is it, and how do we know if we're right for your program?
All right. Finding Me first came about as I was trying to as I was working on. One of the things that you learn when you work with Terry is words matter.
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
I was working on creating my signature program. I have a lot of background. I'm a Canfield certified success principles trainer. I'm also certified in whole being positive psychology. And for over 15 years, I have been learning from the best of the best on the keys of self-development and how to really embrace life to the fullest. And when I started creating my signature program, what I wanted to do was I wanted to create something completely unique and different from all the rest. I didn't want that cookie cutter program that was out there. And I came up with the acronym of Finding Me. So, Finding Me is actually an acronym for all of the things that are included within the program. The first stands for focus and foundation, and then we go into insight and introspection, then we go into notice and nurture, and it goes on from there. Obviously, there's 9 letters. It's actually a 10-week program, and each week builds upon the previous week. And when the students are finished with the program, they leave with a life transformation plan that kickstarts them to actually creating real change in their lives.
Hmm.
One of the things that we'll call it a pet peeve in my industry, in the self-development industry, is that there's so many programs that are out there, and they're great programs. And I know I took many of them. And in taking many of them, I myself did what a lot of people do, and they became shelf help.
Hmm.
So I took a course, read the book, read the program, did the exercises, put it on the shelf, and never looked at it again. And my goal was to create a course that was not something that was going to sit on a shelf after people were done. I wanted to create something that people could actually use to transform their lives. And I learned that myself through a few of the programs that I was in as I took my own programs. And what I did was with Finding Me is I combined all of the best and made it so that within those 10 weeks, what took me 15 years to figure out, it's a lot faster going through Finding Me than it is through all of the stuff that I went through in the past 15 years.
Yeah, see, one of the things that I really dig here is, we all, and I mean all of us in my experience, need some personal transformation, all of us. And so I've been working with folks in personal transformation. I started when I was 13. And when I was old enough to start my first business, I had no money and I took out a loan to hire Zig Ziglar, okay, because I just knew that personal development was important. And of course, I've gone on to work with, all the top names in personal development, including Canfield, who we both love and adore because he is the real deal, Joe Vitale, and just so many more amazing people. I still have a life coach in my business that I work with, right? So I've been in the life coaching industry now for almost 30 years. And sometimes people say, well, I don't understand. Why do you have a coach? Well, I don't see what I don't see. And I want to grow every single day. And Dee's right. I mean, without personal development, we are not able to move forward in our health, in our well-being, in our relationships, in our communication, in our money, in our careers, literally in our lives. It is that important. Hi, Facebook user. Facebook user, if you go right here, we'll know your name. So it's really an important concept. And a few things that I will say. When someone has done work directly with someone like the wonderful Jack Canfield and been certified in his programs and process like Regina has, it's as if you were hiring Jack, which you couldn't even afford to do personally. So when you get Regina and Finding Me, you literally get all of the information. Like you get all of the training, all of the mentoring, all of the coaching, all of the guidance that she has in one person who can now share it with you so you can expand yourself. So I go through Finding Me, and I want to ask two questions, actually. Number one, I want to know what the number one result would be. And number two, if I'm watching right now, how do I know I'm a good candidate for Finding Me? So I have two questions for you there.
So the number one result. Now, first off, number one result, that's a subjective question because Finding Me is all about what it is that you're looking for specifically, and everybody has a different result that they're looking for. What you get out of Finding Me, the result that you physically get out of Finding Me, is your life transformation plan that is tailored, unique to you and whatever it is that you are seeking. So if you're miserable working your job and you're looking for a more fulfilling, more meaningful career, then that is what your life transformation goals and actions and all of the information that's in there is going to be targeted to. Maybe you're in the middle of a transition in life. Maybe you've had some major life transition. It could be a divorce. It could be empty nester. It could be whatever is going on, some kind of major transformation. And you're just looking for your next move. And you're trying to figure out, well, who do I want to be when I grow up? It could be whatever it is that you're seeking for a career. Maybe you're looking for a new career and you don't know what that is. You haven't quite figured out what you're passionate about yet. You know that there's something better for you out there, but you haven't quite put your finger on it yet. Once you get through Finding Me, you will have a much better handle on what that is and all of the action steps that it's going to take to actually get you from point A to point B.
So yeah, you answered it so thoroughly. So just for clarification, we get 10 weeks. What does that look like? Everybody delivers their programs differently.
Yep. So every week we have a 1 hour live session. And the 1 hour live session is live via Zoom. And it's very interactive. This is not a webinar where nobody can speak to me and we can't ask questions. This is not like that. This is an interactive workshop where not only do you have interaction with everybody else that's in the group, but interaction directly with me. And each week comes with a workbook, a corresponding workbook that goes along with that week. Now that workbook, it goes into the information. There's a little bit of information, so you don't have to take quite so many notes, and you can actually pay attention during the 1 hour. And there's also exercises. So every week has exercises to reinforce what you've learned that week and to help you along your way to start thinking about what are those things that I want? Where am I right now? Finding Me starts with, who am I right now? At this exact point in time, what do I look like? Where am I? What's going on? And then you start discovering, okay, this is where I exactly am right now. Where do I want to be? Let's start defining that and create that picture for ourselves. And so each week with the workbooks, you actually have the 1 week, the 1 hour live, and then you have the workbook to reinforce. And on top of that, we also have a private Facebook group where we interact. So if there's any questions in between during the entire 10-week program, they can chat live, they can go back and forth with me just to make sure that they're actually getting what they really want out of it.
Beautiful. One of the key things, that I heard is not only the access to the content. And one piece that I'll speak about before we answer our Facebook users question is I have had the privilege of seeing the workbooks. And that's one reason I wanted you to come here today. They blew me away. I mean, you have obviously put all your heart and soul into it, your life's work, your knowledge. And the process is so clear. Like you are literally taking me by the hand and guiding me. And it's just delivered in such a wonderful way. So I just wanted to give gratitude there. And here's Dee Hample, who's also seen it, who said the content is phenomenal. So here's our Facebook user. And again, unless you give StreamYard permission, I have to call you Facebook user. So let us know who you are. So the person wants to know if they should wait until retirement before making a transformation, and a little concerned about making the money that they need. I can definitely address that part. Let's talk about when you make a transformation. When do you do it?
You do it when you're ready. So, so when it comes to making a transformation, it's are you happy with life the way it is right now? Is everything working out the way you want it to work out? Why wait until tomorrow? You never know what's going to happen tomorrow. So why wait to go live the life that you really want to live if you know that there's something out there for you that you're looking to go find? Some people are completely happy with where they are in life right now. Whether they're really completely happy or not, they're just complacent. They get into this comfort zone of their current life. And so they just run with it. And we talk about the hamster wheel all the time. They're just going around in the hamster wheel. It's what's familiar to them. And some people are okay with that. Then there's other people who go, what happens if I jump off the hamster wheel? What's out there? And yes, that can be a little bit scary, because what happens is you're now moving outside of your comfort zone. And the comfort zone is called the comfort zone for a reason. It's comfortable. Just because it's a comfort area, that doesn't mean it feels good. Comfort area just means it's what you know. What you know might be making you miserable. However, it's what you know. So you stay with it because, the devil you know versus the devil you don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. So what I would say to our friend here, let me see where that question was, and I'll put that back up there. Yeah, transformation is the way to your dreams. Should you wait, until retirement? And my answer is 100% no. Nothing is guaranteed. Like, all of us know our birth dates. We don't know our checkout dates. We make plans, and we get humored by how the plans get interrupted. COVID as a wonderful example. And retirement can be planned in certain ways and can happen in different ways for lots of different reasons. Why wait for anything? Take control of the moment. Live your life in the moment, not, oh, I'll transform when. It's transform every day. I'm a continuous learner, and I literally have 8 coaches, consultants, or mentors that I am currently working with in different areas of my business and life. And I am literally doing transformation every day. I'm not waiting until some point. And if you're concerned about making the money that you want to make, I can certainly help with that. That's where I come in. Regina can first help you get yourself on track. Who are you? Where are you going? What's the transformation now, in the moment, for the moment? And I love what Velma just said. It's not I'll transform when, it's I'll transform then. And if we think about it from a health and wellness, you're welcome, a health and wellness point of view, our cells are constantly changing. We are not the same person today as we were yesterday. Our body is naturally shedding and creating new cells, right? Our minds need to do the same thing. And if we're not feeding our mind and continuously working on transforming from the inside out, then we stay exactly the same. So whether you are planning to retire in 5 years, 10 years, a month, 2 months, you're changing every day. You want to start your transformational process now. Anything you want to add to that, Regina?
That is spot on as far as what to do and when. Remember, you are the one creating your story. Everything that's happened in your life, where you are right now, when you do that exercise, the exercises that tell you where you are right now, and you define that in detail. And maybe there's some things in there that you don't like 100%. Remember, you created it. We have all created everything that is in our lives. And as the creator, we get to create what comes next. And for some people, that might be a next chapter. For other people, it might mean a whole new book, depending on what it is that you're looking for. We're the creators of our lives. And once we learn to take 100% responsibility of our lives and own it, that's when the real transformation begins.
I could not agree more. I mean, totally agree. And I just want to really offer and to say to people, if you are living in our world today, there's a lot going on, whether it's, I'm glad that our Facebook users enjoying the info. Good to have you. There's a lot going on in the world, whether it's climate stuff, whether it's pollution, whether it's all these P words, politics, it doesn't really matter whether it's, pandemic, here's another P word for you. It doesn't matter. Things are moving and changing every single day. And our ability I love finding me, because once you really get solid on who you are, you can make different decisions. I'm going to teach by a quick example here. So for some of you who don't know me as well, I was president of a national healthcare company 29 years ago. I was making high six figures, had all those stock options and those golden handcuffs. Yeah. And I was miserable. My company loved me. Every day I went to work, I went, I am miserable. I'm not supposed to be doing this. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I decided I had to find me again, honestly, because I was lost. I was attached to an income. And so I went to a mind, body, spirit conference. And at that conference, there was a coach, a life coach, and she went on later to write a book. Some of you probably know her, Cheryl Richardson, but back in the day, she was just starting to write a book. And I sat in on her course and I realized I needed to have a coach, and it was really important to me. And she had a woman that was a coach that was from Massachusetts that I met with, and I hired her on the spot. Having that wonderful coach in my life, her name was Sharon Teitelbaum, I found myself again. I found my passion, I found my desires, and I realized I was not aligned with being the CEO of this company. And I got I'll use a word I don't use a lot, chutzpah, to pick up and to say, goodbye, this isn't for me. And like you said, you've never looked back. I've never looked back. I do every single day. I wake up, I'm so blessed. I do what I love. I love what I do. I have great client family members like you and so many of the folks here. And I get to make an impact and have influence and live a nomadic lifestyle. And at the same time, I make a really lovely income doing what I love and loving what I'm doing. So Ken says, what if change could be fun, exciting, inspiring, fulfilling? 100%, right? And that's the way to do it. It's easy, it's effortless, it's joyful, it's fun. Velma says she has a mindset coach and a business coach. Oh, I think I know that business coach. And even as your business coach, one of the things that I always say to people, and they always want to jump in, let's just start getting to work and getting clients. I'm like, we're going to do some mindset stuff, right? Because you have to do that. You have to have the inner framework. Regina said something so important. If you look around at what you do have in your life, in your health, in your wealth, in your relationships, every aspect of your life, and what you don't have, what's not quite right yet, sometimes people don't like to hear this, but you created that. Sometimes unconsciously, you created that. It didn't just happen upon you, okay? And sometimes it's easier to go, oh, that's my life circumstance, or that wasn't my thing. So I actually take full responsibility for, I have a disease called reflex sympathetic dystrophy, and I actually take responsibility for that disease. I truly do. I know that I took on a lot of people's stress, and I brought it into my experience. And when people say, well, how come you're doing so great now? And I'm like, because I work on my inner game. It's not like the disease magically disappeared. It's like I navigated it. So I agree with what Ken said. The kind of change can be fun and exciting and inspiring and fulfilling. And yeah, Regina is the gal to do it. Yeah, Ken, I want to go there for a second. Sometimes people don't want to hear this, right? You created that. They're like, no, I wouldn't have created that. Why would I choose that? Unconsciously, it was sort of programmed in there. And then when you get clear on who you are and where you want to go, I'm just getting excited. I want folks that are with us right now or watching the replay just to think and really maybe even jot it down for yourself. Where are you today? And where would you like to be? As a human being, as a mom, as a dad, as a parent, as a grandparent, as a sibling, as a daughter, a son, as a business person, as a human being. And if you're open to transformation, That's what it's about. Velma says it's not about blame. It's about responsibility. And yeah, we do create unconsciously, and that's a piece. Regina, will you address that? What would it be like if we do it consciously? Can you speak to that?
So that's where a lot of people get stuck. A lot of people think that they have, they aren't responsible for all the stuff that's going on in their lives, where, just like you said, subconsciously, everything's been created. Subconscious is where your beliefs are held, all these things. If you've ever found yourself stuck in a pattern that you just do the same thing over and over again, and you're wondering why things aren't different, the definition of insanity. You go in, you keep doing the same thing over and over again, and nothing changes, and you're getting frustrated as to why isn't it changing. It's because of all that stuff going in your subconscious. When you are working with someone else, the key here is when we talk about having a coach. So Terry, you mentioned about having your life coach, and Velma mentioned about having her mindset coach. The thing is that when you are working with someone else, they can hear things that are coming out of your mouth that you don't actually realize are coming out. They're coming from your subconscious. So you answer questions in a certain way, certain frame of mind, certain tone, certain body movements. There's different things that a coach will pick up on that they will then counter you with and say, okay, so let me see if I'm understanding this right. And they will parrot it back to you. And you go, well, that really wasn't what I meant. It's like, okay, well, that's where you are and what you're saying. And now that you've actually brought that to your conscious and you understand that, oh, maybe I'm not showing up the way I think I'm showing up. Maybe I'm showing up a different way because my subconscious automatic reactions and responses are showing up. Now that you're conscious about it, you actually start paying more attention to it. And when you're more conscious about everything that you're creating in your life, you actually get to design it the way you want it to look. When you let your subconscious do it, it shows up however it is your subconscious lets it show up. And when you are conscious about it, you go, wait, I don't want that. I want this instead. You get to create it. You're the creator of your life.
Yeah. Oh, every time someone says that, I just want to jump up and down because I didn't realize that, to be, totally transparent. There's a period in my life where I'm like, okay, well, this is my life and that's just the way it is. And I really didn't get it. And Ken, I'm glad you actually mentioned live on purpose, because I remember doing some work with someone like you, not as gifted as you, I really mean that, to figure out what my purpose was on the planet. Because when I got to be in my 30s and definitely by age 40, all I kept saying is this my whole life? It was like, this is what life is. Like, you just work and then one day you hope to retire, whatever that means, and then you die. Like, I don't want that to be my life, right? And so when I discovered my life purpose and found a way to give back and to pass it forward and to serve and to create a legacy, everything changed. Not only did everything change, my health changed, my way of being changed, my way of being in relationship changed. Every single thing changed. And the biggest thing that changed is my joy factor, because Regina, I am creating it. And all of you can do that. You can create life on your own terms, living life by design. Because if you're not living life by design, conscious design with Regina, frankly, you're living life by default and you don't even know it. And it's unconscious. And that's when we start blaming everyone and everything. Oh, look what happened to me. Can you believe this happened to me? Yeah, absolutely. Can totally believe it. So, all right, let's see. We've got about, oh my gosh, this comes fast, but 3 more minutes. How can people find out more about you, finding me? How can they get the info that they need so that they can actually find themselves with your amazing help?
Sure. So you can find me on Facebook. I have a group called the Harmony and Balance Connection for Women. So feel free to come out and join our group. I add a lot of value. I throw out documents and we do different things there during the week as far as quotes of the day and different things that we add out there. I'm all about adding value as a entrepreneur. And as far as finding me is concerned, if you go to www.lifeofmydreamsnow.com, all of the information for finding me is right there. I can also put this in the chat if that's okay.
Yeah, that's great. And Velma put Facebook Harmony and Balance for Women. So if you're watching, you're like, oh, I'm a man. It's not that you can't be a part of Finding Me. She just happens to have this awesome group. And it's lifeofmydreamsnow.com. So ask yourself this question, and this is important. You showed up here for this live or this replay for some reason, and I always believe this, always, and I still do. When the student is ready, the teacher appears, and there she is right in front of you. And I don't bring everyone in front of you. We got, what, 65, almost 6,600 people here. I choose people who I know can add tremendous value and can help you. I wholeheartedly endorse Regina, and her Finding Me program is outstanding. And Ken, yes, it is time to change your story. You are definitely here for a reason. So I always say this, and I actually had this little Facebook chat today with Damon John, who I've actually gotten to chat with a few times. And he came across one of my quotes, and some of you have heard my quote, which is find a way or make a way. He was talking about no excuses, and he messaged me today, and he said, that even says it better. If this resonates with you, if you got value from Regina, how could you not? Then it really is time to make a connection with her. If you're watching the replay, just say replay. And you can also connect with her if you're a woman in her Facebook group, Harmony and Balance for Women. And every one of you should go over to lifeofmydreamsnow.com. Regina, any final words as we sign off for now?
Yeah, I just want to let everybody know that doing business as a entrepreneur means that I really want to make sure that I can provide value for the individuals who sign up for my program. And if you look at the information and you still have a bunch of questions, I am always happy to meet with you and answer any questions that you have. I just want to make sure it's right for you and that you're ready. When you're ready for the transformation and ready to write your next chapter or your next book, then the program is here and ready and waiting for you.
Absolutely. And we'll sum it up with what Dee said. I deem people entrepreneurs who are transparent, authentic, and in integrity. And I reserve that from just a few people, honestly. And you are truly one. It's an honor and a privilege to work with you, to be on the journey with you, and now for you to pass forward and make a big difference to those who raise their hands. So again, it's Harmony and Balance for Women is her Facebook group. And then everyone, male, female, they, he, she, it, I don't care. Go over to lifeofmydreamsnow.com. And Regina, thanks for coming here today and creating value like you always do. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you so much for having me, Terry.
Bye, everyone.